Greetings, Earthlings. Iceberg Trader here. This is the end of week review for week 2. First, we're going to be going through, I think we had one of the videos earlier on today featuring what the activity has been like throughout the second week. So we're just gonna run through that again quickly, just get everyone on the same page. So here we are. We got, this is my FX book account, third party verified. Nothing that the fake gurus are gonna be showing you, because apparently they make thousands and thousands of pips and dollars every day that they cannot prove. So let's head on to the real nitty-gritty. No bullshit, no bluff. As you can see, the track record is verified, trading privilege is verified. Alright, we come on here. I mean, there's intricate details on everything, which is available publicly. You could go review it anytime you want. Just running through here, you could see our negative days, our positive days. I'm not going to run through the entire thing. If you check about the 2 videos back, you see where I go through in detail, stating the days and the amount of pips that were made and whatnot. As you can see, it's not every day you're making profit. Anybody who knows anything about the markets and says that they're making profits 100% of the days or the time, run away very quickly. Right, this is like the real deal. Here's what it's like. Some days in profit, some days in losses. Equity curves and balance curves here. As you can see, equity growth and growth. Right, growth, the growth line would represent the end balance without factoring in open positions. Likewise, or vice versa, the equity growth would factor in balance as well as open positions or equity. So as it stands right now, our equity is negative, which means we have a floating position which is in a negative amount. So if we close all the floating positions now, this equity, this growth line will drop down to the equity growth, or the equity, which is negative right now. Okay, so as you can see here, growth is at 2.16%, which is iterated here, 2.16% in the second week, and the equity is at minus 1.05%. Okay, so we'll go further on to go into the details. If anything, just leave me a comment if there's anything you want me to go into detail. But so far, yesterday and day before yesterday, the markets were a bit shaken up by multiple spikes on pound, New Zealand, Australian, and I think some Euro pairs as well were affected. But nonetheless, I think we were able to manage or find our way trading through that immense volatility that cut through in the markets. So as it stands right now, we're at a gain of 2.16%. Alright, that's on the growth as seen here. Our equity is negative at the moment, and our pip count is currently at 1,194 as seen here. dollar amounts, $1.13. That's everything is depicted here. Win rate currently is about 80%. Trades are 86 trades. Lot size is gonna be equal to trade as we keep to fixed lot size. The other thing that we're going to be, there's other details on here as well. There's a whole myriad of stuff that we could go through, the history and whatnot, a whole lot of other things here that we're gonna get into. I mean, as time goes by, that's what we're trading. Currency is populated for December. That's when we started. It gives a proportioned amount of what activity is going on with each currency pair, average holding time, risk to reward ratios, as you can see here. Alright, this is what open trades, history, will let you see the entry and the exits and so on. All of those details can be found here. Third party verified, so there's nothing where we just making calls and cannot prove, you know, what the end result was. That's all about transparency. That's when you get to premium account management services, not just the WhatsApp groups and just shooting shit saying you guys made 200 pips here, 300 pips here, we're making 1000 pips here, and nobody knows what the hell's going on. Why you guys are just shooting shit. So alright, this is here on my FX book. You can find a link as well to MQL. MQL will, the stats and the layout will be different, but the gain would be the same amount, plus 2.16% on the second week. So we're chugging along. In terms of pip count, we're way past the 100 pip per week challenge that, you know, the channel is all about, but we're way ahead. I mean, there's I'm not being bashful or anything, but it's about 900 points above, but we still need to keep it. I mean, we don't know whether the next week will be a negative week. We could lose 300 pips, we don't know what the future holds. So I mean, we're just gonna try to keep trend, see what the market brings, and try our best to manage to the best of our ability. Here's all the stats are all here, and we're going to jump right into some analysis on pound Canadian and Australian New Zealand. So currently the positions being held, we're just featuring those two. One is currently at a loss. Australia New Zealand is currently at a loss right now. We are looking at, let's see here, just give me a sec. So Australian New Zealand is, we have a buy trade or long trade on here, and the price has dropped down, so that position is currently in a loss with like negative equity. And we have pound Canadian, which was sold or shorted and is currently in positive equity. Now none of the positions have been closed, so these would be classed as positions in or equity or open positions. So the loss or the gain wouldn't be realized until the trade position is closed. So let me give you just a rundown on these two. Well, that short position on point card was really good and early. Wow. But if you notice here, I think what prompted the trade here was the gap that came in with the volatility, and we're going on based on the old adage that price would cover the gap. So I think that's what prompted the short in this area at, let's get the details on it right now. Okay, so on pound CAD, pound Canadian, we got a short. That one is at 1.7718. 7718. It's currently in 137 points in profit, and I think coming into next week we may look for retraces around this area, 1.7594. Expecting some consolidation around this area. If it does happen like this, we may look to double up on the position and continue to ride the wave down. We're looking at the awesome and the accelerator indicators here, which are all part and parcel of the entire suit that we trade. It's the alligator, we have market profile here, and awesome accelerator. So oscillators on there. So we're going to look to see if the consolidation does come through as expected here. We may look to continue shorting pound Canadian here. We can see formation, market profile. We're getting some, and we're getting confirmation coming into the alligators and running or remaining below the alligators. So that's nice confirmation that the bearish trend may hold. If we get the consolidation around this area, then we may look to add some shorts, or maybe just double up on the short and try to hold the existing or the pre-existing short position from last week. Right now there's a stop losses in profit there, about 10, 15. So worst case scenario, if for whatever reason price does jump back up here, it's just going to be a small profit of about 10 or 15 points. However, I don't think that will happen. Looking at the framework and the structure being developed here. But anyways, let's just see how it will go next week. Aussie, New Zealand is a different story here. We bought at, let's see, get the exact price here. We bought at 1.0452. Alright, 1.0452, which is here. Price continue to drop down. I think we were looking at a possible reversal somewhere close to this area. Alright, and that didn't really play out because we took that position I think either Wednesday or Thursday. So it's currently at a loss, and we're just nursing the drawdown. But I think what we were looking at optimally was price getting back into the alligators and a reversal. So we're going to look forward to see, because we had looked this one bottom here, price coming back down, so that would be nice horizontal support. I think that's what I was looking at towards the end, well, towards Friday, end of Friday US session, but it just lays around. It didn't really move up how I expected. So Right now that position is in a loss, and we're going to be holding on to see how best we can manage, either take the loss or switch it up, maybe short some more. It all depends on what happens. That's the thing about the market. Very difficult to predict what's going to happen. It's more so about how you manage the position, and just the entire risk management for your entire portfolio. As for me, I look at all G8 Forex and currency pairs as well as gold. So there's a myriad of scenarios that we look at for each pair, and with the help of some of our proprietary algorithms, we you know we use all of the data populated to assist with the decisions that we're going to make going forward. So basically those were the two featured currency pairs that we wanted to look at. We can do all of them because, like I said, it's about 25 currency pairs plus that I look at. That's so I'm just going to be featuring randomly, what our positions are like, and you could always go on to the profile to find out what we're doing. All of our stuff is transparent here, so all of our stuff is transparent here and available on any MT4 platform. We've dropped the price down to like $50 a month, and I think we're gonna keep it there for maybe another 1 or 2 months. I guess coming into January we're gonna keep it there until. So that's basically what it is right now. As our standings on week 2, we're way past the 100 pip mark. So let's go on and see what comes up next. Let me just go pull that up. Just go back and run through what the activity has been like from day 1. This was last week. So we've had about 1, 2, 3, 4 losing days, and about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 winning days. Okay, that's what it is like so far. The link to the MyFX book profile will be uploaded soon enough, but you can also check on the MQL link, MQL5. There's a link in the description below, and I encourage anyone who wants to get any real-time coverage on what's going on, hit the subscribe button and just follow us on our journey. If you like to be part of what's going on and be able to replicate the same results that we're having, then you could go on to the MQL5 link in our profile and get access to all, or exclusive access to all our trade signals, just how we have it here. So while we're going through the recap, all of those results shown here could be your results as well, just being replicated automatically or automatically copied onto your MT4 account. If you need any help, just shoot me a message or check with either on our Twitter, Instagram. Well, my Facebook account's got messed up, so you could either meet me on Instagram, Telegram, or Instagram. Either one of them, just shoot me a message, and we can get you hooked up for you know, just a monthly subscription of about $50. We do recommend, however, a VPS service, since the forex market is a 24/7 market, and there's times where we may be trading, and say for example your MT4 platform is not online, then you won't be able to get the signals. Okay, so that VPS service, I mean, you could get that anywhere from like $10 to $25 a month. So for optimal performance, just to make sure that you get all the trade signals, all the modifications being made to the trades in real time, we recommend getting a VPS service, having your MT4 account on there, and then subscribing to our signal service on MT4, right? You could get access to our MT4 account, just search Iceberg Trader down in the tab on your MT4 platform. Doesn't matter what broker you're using. Of course there will be variations depending on the lot size, so I mean, feel free to consult with us before you get set up. So we would need to know what type of lot size is that you're trading, and then be able to recommend a capital allocation for you. Okay, right now what we're trading on is a nano account, or what some would call like a cent account. So we're trading a nano account. Started off with, like, as you can see, the balance here 50, that's the current balance, but we started off with a 50 something odd balance, just to show that, you know, it is possible to start investing with small amounts. And it is possible to start investing with small amounts, but then again, you need to be mindful of the mindset that's being perpetuated by the media. Don't come in expecting that you're going to make $2,000 out of 2 cents. It's not gonna happen. You're more likely to blow your account doing it this way. For us here, we're only looking at, you know, conservative figures, 1%, 2%, something odd. I mean, yes, there will be the odd case where, you know, we strike gold and we hit some good double digits, but it's just like the rabbit and the hare story. Slow to progress, right? Taking it step by step. Now, the beautiful thing about it is that with the percentage figures, it doesn't matter what the balance on your account is. 1% of 10% of $10 would be the same. Sorry, is 1% of $10, 1% of $100, 1% of 1,000, 1% of 10,000. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. It's the percentage amount. That's what we're focusing on. We put in the pip amounts because those can be generalized across any account. So to say or to ask, you know, whether you're making money, it's like another old adage again. You need to have money to make money, right? So 1% on an account holder who has a balance of $100, that would only be $1 in terms of dollar amount returns for him. But the other account user, or the other client or investor who has 10 grand, that 1%, that same 1% would mean $100 for him. So everything is proportional, and that's how it should be looked at, not by how much profit you're making in dollar amounts, because then it becomes that it's very difficult to quantify. Because if you're making, let's say, $500 on an account, that doesn't, I mean, you can single out and say, okay, that's the dollar amount made, but how much did you risk to make that money, right? and the end result, what was the percentage in terms of return? Because you could have easily risked $1,500 in terms of dollar amount. You could have put up $1,500 in terms of risk in order to make $500. But then you have to also consider the two scenarios. What happened? You won, or you came out on the winning side, so you ended up gaining $500. But what about the losing side? What if you had lost on the trade? Right? If you had lost on the trade and then your risk now was at $1,500, you would have lost like 3 times the amount that you could have potentially gained. Now that's what the other gurus, the social gurus and all of them don't show. They probably even wouldn't show the loss. They would just come up and say, hey, they made X amount. Not even really prove it, but then just come up. It's easy to just say, like one of the things that they do, and I just have a problem with those guys because, they bring shame to the game. They bring shame to the game, real recognize real, sometimes they come on with two different accounts, right? Two different accounts, they take a trade in the opposite direction. At the end of the day, one of the trades are going to be in a loss, one of the trades are going to be in a profit. And what do you think they do? They take off the one that had the losing trade, and then they go off everywhere showing, a snapshot, or they just show off the account that had the win, and they never show off the account that had the losing one. Some of them even run dual groups like that. So they send one buy signal to the first group and a sell signal to the other group. The sell signal faces a loss at the end of the day. They don't really feature it or anything on the group, but they feature the first group, the one that had the win. So on that particular day, every day there's going to be a win for them, right? That's why I say any trader, any signal provider who's saying that they're winning 100% of the time, you need to run as far away as possible, because that's not the reality. That's not the reality. Okay, so there's so many tricks played. Like, what would separate a lot of them? Exactly what I'm showing you here. Like that's one of the ways you would know that you have, the real deal or premium account service. You'll be able to see the track record. You'll be able to verify, what has been done last week, what happened on this particular day. This stuff that I'm showing you, it cannot be really modified, right? It is what it is. It's being taken directly from a live account. Okay, so on any particular day, we could go and say, okay, how many pips were made on, let's say, December 4th. You can just go right here, follow through, and you could see it for yourself. Okay, it's not like there's so much bullshit going around. It's like the norm. And then you hear those guys say, okay, they sent $500 to an account manager and he blew all the money. What else do you expect? If he can't even verify his own track record, what do you expect him to do with your funds? And by the way, most of the premium account services do not require for funds to be transferred over to them. With the signal service here, or the account management service here, the portfolio is managed in your account. So if you got $500 on your account that you want to start off with, you don't have to send $500 over to me. That money stays on your account. The only thing that you pay for is the subscription service to get access to our signals or our trades. Alright, so that's being copied or managed remotely via the MQL service. Alright, and then additionally, like we're recommending to have your MT4 account on a VPS server, so it's available to be able to get the signals copied and managed from our account. So exactly, your account will be replicating or copying everything that we're doing at the time. Okay, so there should be very little variation with our results and your results, even if it's on different accounts. There will be little issues of slippage, probably 1 or 2 or 3 pips, here and there per trade. I mean, that will come naturally because of latency on like the network and whatnot, but that's not really going to be a major issue. So at the end of the day, the reason why I always refer to the service as premium, you're going to be getting the exclusive access to our trades, all our trade management. All of that will be automatically replicated, monitored, managed, just how we're managing on our account. So that's like real premium account management service, right? You would still have access to your account at any time. You could do your withdrawals, your deposits. I mean, what we do, we just get exclusive access to manage the positions on your account with your permission, right? So anyways, that's basically the wrap up for the second week. Let me just run down. Today was actually the red day. We lost about 76 points. This week we made about 750, and so far we're about 11,194. Okay, win rate or win percentage is about 80%. And there's other things, profit factor. You could go in and check in on all those things. Best trade, worst trade, average wins, average losses. All the stats are here for you to speculate, because everybody's going to want to speculate, so that's natural. But we will take some time and run through some more of the stats here. This is a separation of like trade activity for winners and losses over the 24-hour period. So you could see the winning days on what times on the 24-hour clock. So as you could see, we're a little more active around this time here. 01, so that's like Asian session here. This one is like the European session from about here. So for me, that's the time when I'm mostly like sleeping around that time. Although, as you can see, trades are still being executed here sometimes. Depends on what the scenario we're looking at. And then the US session would continue on here. That's the time I'm up from around that time. So you could look at the activity based on the hours per day, and then but we'll run through some of the other features, the other stats here, later on during the week. Just shoot me a comment, shoot me a message, try to hit me up on Instagram if you have any questions, and then feel free to run through the entire thing. This is like nothing you've seen when it comes to Forex trading, account management, or signal services. Most of them are just blowing hot air and shooting shit, and this is a totally different twist. Yeah. So we're gonna end the video. Right now. Hope everybody has a good weekend, and we're looking forward to week 3. We will get some research and more review done over the weekend. Post up some videos as well. But for now, this is it for now. So cheers.